All right. Hello and welcome to the newest edition, the first version of the 2025 Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. So, I did tease a couple days ago that I would be reviewing the Marvel Multiverse Role-playing Game Spider-Verse expansion. And promise made and promise kept. Here we have the book almost a week before it is released officially to the public, and I will be reviewing the book. I'll try to be as brief as possible, but as thorough as possible, and go through the entire book, including each of the new characters that are included in this expansion. All right, so I'm going to give a few minutes for people to join, if anybody's going to be joining us live. It's my first time doing a live feed, so please bear with me as I try to figure out the best arrangement for my desk here. What is going on here? Okay. All right. Oh, hi, Collector P. I didn't know you played this game. I really got to figure out a good setup for this. In any case, we're going to get started here. Uh, the book itself, it's not that heavy, but it's great quality. The cover is nice, just like all the other Marvel Multiverse role-playing game covers. It's got that soft felt touch feel. The cover art is great, and it begins with just a brief introduction about the Marvel Multiverse, the Spider-Verse in the Marvel Universe, and it goes into the details of the Spider-Verse, what it is, how it came to be, and the history in the comic books of the Spider-Verse itself. And then it goes into each character individually. It goes into Peter Parker, the original Spider-Man, and his backstory, a general overview of his whole history, including the main people in his life throughout the years, some of the main story plots that he's encountered throughout the years in the Marvel Universe. Then we get into Chapter 4, which is Miles Morales. Does the same with him. And then we go into Ghost Spider, or Spider-Gwen, as we all know her. And again, it discusses her history and the main points about her as well. Then it goes into Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, and talks about his history as well. And then it goes into all the other Spider characters, and it mentions pretty much every single one that you can name off the top of your head. From the movies, from the cartoons, anime, print books, every character that you could imagine. Which is interesting when we get to the list of characters that. Oh, cool! So you're just learning the game. It's interesting. They did a beta test for the game where you had to purchase the book for $10, and they had variant covers. So if you bought all 5 or 4, I believe, then you're spending $40 just to test it out for them. And the original beta test, the characters got to go to level 25, I believe. And then in the final version, you can only get to rank 6. I guess they wanted to simplify and make it more approachable for people who are new to role-playing games. And for role-playing game enthusiasts, it doesn't really work as well with just 6 ranks if you're into creating your own characters and you like to advance and things like that. If you're used to Dungeons and Dragons or similar games, then advancing to the next stage is really what you look forward to when you play. For this game, it's made to be a lot more casual. So what they're really aiming for you to do is to use the pre-generated characters and play, I guess, one-shots. And even if you're playing a campaign, for example, the Kang campaign, quote-unquote, they encourage you in each chapter, in each stage of the adventure, they encourage you to try out different characters than what you've used in the prior section. So really, that's kind of what they're aiming for with this game. So if you're used to other role-playing games, it's a little bit of an adjustment. So going through to the next section, we get into clones. Of course, clones being a very big part of the spider mythos, because of course, as we know, the infamous clone saga, and it talks about how to handle clones in the game. There's new rules for clones, and of course, we can't talk about spider characters without talking about symbiotes. So there's a huge section on symbiotes and new rules for symbiotes as well in the new rules section when we get to it, which is right here. And there are a lot of new rules. So if you're just getting into this game, like Collector P, if you're interested in the spider characters and you're going to buy this expansion and expect to incorporate all of these rules, it's going to be overwhelming, because this book can almost stand on its own as its own game. It's kind of like a sub game of the Marvel Multiverse Role-playing Game. It has so many intricacies, small rules and details that really make it probably too complicated for a casual player if you're going to use the core rulebook rules as well as the rules that were presented in the X-Men expansion, and then use these as well. It's going to be too much for a new person into the game. If you've been playing for a while, for over a year, and I know this, well, actually, it's been out more than a year. We already played our campaign. Then it would be okay, but it's still, I think, a lot to deal with, especially if only one person in your group has a spider character and everybody else has, say, X-Men characters, mutants. Then you have all these rules kind of adding a burden to your game, to your session. So I really recommend that if you're new to the game and you want to play spider characters, you stick to just spider characters and stick to the rules in this book, as opposed to using all the books in the X-Men expansion, etc. It can be very overwhelming, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's, just to scroll through here, or to go through the book, we have secret identities. That comes with all its a bunch of different things. Secret problems, starting public, being famous, revelations. Then it talks about a supporting cast. So, of course, what makes Spider-Man a great comic book is not him just fighting the bad guys. It's his personal life. So you have his relationships with Mary Jane and with Gwen Stacy, and of course J. Jonah Jameson, his relationships with everybody that he knows. Aunt May. So it tells you about dealing with family, younger heroes, adult heroes, and just to give you, whoops, sorry for shaking this camera here. Dealing with other heroes. You have rules for romantic interests and friends. Then you have personal responsibilities. So if you have a job, like you're delivering pizzas or you're a photographer, and how to handle being away if you're wounded and you have to recover for 2 weeks, how you have to manage that. So the game becomes more role playing in a sense than battle, although it is already a kind of a narrative game. I think a lot of people like to, well, people who play role playing games like the combat side of things a lot. I think tend to like that more than the role play side of things, which is interesting because they're called role playing games. I personally like the role playing parts of things, but some people see it as mundane if you're just dealing with, say, family drama as opposed to combat with an arch nemesis or something. So then it even tells you about adventuring alone, as just you basically your narrator and one player, so a two-player game, and playing as just a solo hero like just Spider-Man or Miles Morales or whatever, and how to handle that. And then if you have somebody else join the table, then you can do a team up, and it explains how to do that, and it explains how to get help from other heroes. And we've got team maneuvers that are introduced. Sorry, my kids are in the room here, and they're really trying to get on camera. Other rules include great responsibilities. Of course, you can't have Spider-Man without taunts. And of course, you have the hazards. The part of the fun of combat in Marvel Multiverse Role-playing Game is not just straight combat, hand-to-hand, good guy versus bad guy. It's having all of these extra things happening around you, whether there's a bomb that's about to go off, or there's a train that's about to crash, or a building that's about to collapse, and you have to rescue hostages, save somebody who's falling, dealing with a bomb. So this explains all of that, because of course Spider-Man deals with this pretty much, I think more than any other hero, because he is a street level hero. So other rules include hero reputation, and then we have bad karma. So the rule for karma was introduced in the core rulebook, and it's not a very major rule. Here they expanded just a little bit by talking about bad karma and how it can affect your character. And it plays well with how Spider-Man works in the comic books. Like, for example, if he's jumping off the building and out of nowhere, all of a sudden, his web shooters don't work. Let me get your copy. Huh. I might get in trouble if I share my copy with you. It's not out yet. It's not out till the 18th. So Spider-Man leaps off the building and suddenly his web shooter doesn't work. That's how this is used in the game, this bad karma. It's a pretty interesting mechanic. It talks about clones, the carrion virus, symbiotes. They talk a lot about symbiotes. We have symbiote powers. Basically, it's Kaylee, please. Guys. So, I'm sorry about that. And it tells you that if you have a symbiote, your character has a symbiote, then he comes equipped with certain powers for free that can only be used between the symbiote and your character. Then it talks about variants, the types of variants. So you have like musical, noir, romance, a cartoon, animated, things like that. So of course, playing into the original Spider-Verse. We've got some rules for running a multiverse. Go ask mommy about that. rules for spider venom, henchmen, of course, webbing, and it gets really intricate with the webbing. New webbing rules, including how long does it last, how you can fall with it, webbing as using webbing for other things such as armor or insulation and things like that. Then they introduce a rule for stunts, and of course they're going to introduce a whole bunch of different stunts that you can use, including stunts with new equipment. So they introduce a bunch of new equipment. It goes back to the early days of Spider-Man when he had the little spider trackers. Honestly, I haven't read too many recent Spider-Man books. I don't know if he still uses the spider trackers and stuff and the little light, the floodlight. But they include all of that in here, and including some rules on becoming or your powers being reliant on the technology. Goes into gadget hacking, introduces a few vehicles. So the vehicle rules were formally introduced in the X-Men expansion, and here they relist them again in case you didn't get the X-Men expansion, which is convenient. And it also includes a few new vehicles just to start you off with that. They add something extra to initiative, to getting a fantastic initiative. Normally, when you get a fantastic roll on initiative, you get a bonus round before anybody else gets to go. This, if you get a super fantastic initiative, the ultimate fantastic, which is a 6 Marvel dice and another 6, then you not only get to go in a bonus round, but you also get an automatic fantastic roll on any action that round. Disarming, mind swapping. So when you're mind swapping, it goes through basically a process. You go into the mindscape where you have a duel, and then the aftermath of the duel, how to handle that. There are new conditions. Some of these were introduced in the X-Men expansion. You have damage reduction, corroding, exhausted, frightened, infected, poisoned. New origins are introduced, and as well as new traits. And you can see those new tags, just a couple new tags. And then the new powers. So for new powers, there aren't a lot of new powers, but what they've done is, again, if you did not get the X-Men expansion, all of the powers that were introduced in that book are included in this book as well, in addition to some new spider powers as well. So if you haven't bought the X-Men expansion and you wanted to get the powers or know what they were, I was doing some video series on those power sets and go through each individual power. But you wouldn't need to do that if you buy this book, because they'll all be in here. And that includes the luck power set, the healing power set, Sixth Sense. And then here it goes into all the descriptions for all of the powers. So I'll just skip ahead so I don't get in trouble for showing you the whole book. And then we go into the characters. So they actually put in over 100 characters. I think a total of 102 characters are added through this book. But it's interesting because they miss a lot of opportunities. They showed Spider-Boy in this very book when they were talking about Spider-Verse, but his stats are not included in here. Neither are Jackpot, which is also interesting. They're trying to make her a big thing soon, and there's rumors that she might appear in the movies. Hi, Joe Fisher. Well, you can always catch it on the rewind. You're catching it right when I'm about to show all the new characters. So actually, that's generally what most people are looking forward to. So I'm about to start that. All right, you're going to find out. So we have Agent Venom, Aranya, Beetle. Trying to get the whole thing in the shot just in case you want to go back and pause it. Not that I'm saying to do that, because that would be unethical. Boomerang, Cardiac, Carnage, Chameleon, Chasm, Doc Ock. Then the other Doc Ock, one of the other Doc Ocks. Doppelganger, Doctor Doom, Electro, Ghost Spider. Now she's in the core rulebook as Spider-Gwen. I haven't checked against that to see if the stats are the same or not, but in any case, she's here again, maybe. Green Goblin, the early days. It's really cool that they added like all the old early days versions of a couple of the characters. You have the Green Goblin from Spider-Gwen's world. Hallows Eve. Glad they put her in there. Hammerhead. Hobgoblin. Hydro Man. Jackal. Kindred. Kingpin. Kraven the Hunter. This is Anna Kravinoff. Kraven the Hunter, last son of Kraven. Lady Octopus, who's kind of popular, I guess. Last Stand Spider-Man. Lizard. I'm not sure if he was in the original core rulebook or not. Madam Monstrosity. Madam Web. Mangaverse Spider-Man. Misery. Mr. Negative. Morlun. Mysterio. This is the old school Mysterio. Norman Osborn. President Norman Osborn. Prowler. Queen Goblin. Red Goblin. And it's interesting they made him a rank 3. I thought he'd be stronger than that. Wreck Rap. Rhino. The Rose. Sandman. Scarlet Spider. I really have to get a better setup. Scorpion. Salim. Shathra. Shift. Shocker. Silence. Silk. Yeah, Shocker and then Silence is usually what you get. Silvermane. Sin Eater. Sleeper. Spider. Speed Demon. Oh, there is Spider Boy. I missed him the first go around. So they did put him in there. But they definitely missed Jackpot. Spider Side. Spider Girl. Spider Ham. They also didn't put any of the Renew Your Vows characters, which is interesting too. That's Earth, I think, 18119, if I'm not mistaken. Spider Ham. Spider-Man from Earth 1610. Spider-Man Earth 6160. Miles Morales, who's already in the core rulebook anyway. The other Miles Morales. Peter Parker early years. Peter Parker from Earth 1048. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man India. Spider-Man Noir. Of course, they're going to include him. Spider-Punk. Spider-Slayer. Spider's Man. Spider-Woman from Earth 1610. Bunch of Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman from Earth 332. Spider-Woman Jessica Drew, which she already existed in the Kang adventure. They introduced her stats there. I haven't compared to see if they're the same, but there she is again. Spider-Woman Maddie Franklin. They, of course, included Spot. Starling, who's the daughter of Vulture, if I'm not mistaken. Stegron. Superior Spider-Man. Swarm. Then they included stats for an unbounded symbiote. So it was just crawling around, I guess. The symbiote dragon from the Knoll books. Symbiote Spider-Man. Teresa Parker. Tinkerer. Tombstone. Ultimatum. Venom, who I think is in the core rulebook too. Venom Earth 1048. Venture 2099. Vermin. There's Vulture. White Rabbit. I don't know, I find it weird that they put her in there. Wraith. And then they have these stats for kind of generic thugs and whatnot, street punk, public agent, inner demon. They put Spiderling, but that's like henchman type. That's not Spiderling from the Renew Your Vows. Veteran mercenary and Vulture's henchman. And that is it for the characters for the Marvel Multiverse Role-playing Game Spider-Verse expansion. That is the entire thing. I will probably make a video this coming week to finish talking about the new powers that were introduced in the X-Men expansion. I only spoke about 2 power sets. I haven't done videos for the others. I kind of got lazy after Christmas, and I'm sorry about that. If you did count on my videos, I know I lost a few subscribers, but hopefully this is helpful for some of you. If you're looking to buy this book, this gives you an idea of what's included in it. If you were on the fence, hopefully this helped you one way or the other to make a decision on whether to buy it or not. And I would send you my copy. I just wouldn't want to get in trouble because I don't need any more. My campaign's over. So maybe I'll do a giveaway. Yeah, why don't we do that? I'll do a giveaway and I'll make it so you get it on release date. How's that? There's only 4 of you, so that is actually pretty good odds. Say what? Prank them? No. Where did my dice go? No. Steal the book from me? No. All right. So, anybody have any questions about this or about the X-Men expansion? I have it here as well with me. I'll probably give that one away too because I don't really need it anymore either, and it's brand new. I just flipped through it for the videos. So trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Let me see who I see. Radio Gamer, Joe Fisher, Collector P. Oh, a generous lover. Okay, so that's the 4 of you. So let's see which one of you is going to get it. We'll have Collector P who messaged first. He'll be number 1. Generous Lover will be 2. Joe Fisher 3. And Radio Gamer will be 4. All right. All right, just a minute. I'm going to we'll do a random dice generator here on my tablet. Hopefully it shows well on the video. Okay, so here we go. We're going to roll 4-sided dice. I don't remember how to do this. Nope. Nope. How am I doing this? Wait, Nathan. What are you doing? Oh. Great. Okay.
I'm breaking the stream. Look. You're breaking the stream.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Oh, now we have 5 people. Oh, it's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great. All right, here we go. 4-sided dice. All right. Man, that took a while to figure it out. All right, so we have the counts. So once again, Collector P, you're number 1. Generous Lover, you're 2. Joe Fisher, you're 3. Radio Gamer, you're number 4. And this is going to be for the Spider-Verse book. Here we go. We'll roll 3 times. 1, 2. Wow. 3. Wow, Collector P, you just had all the luck. You rolled it rolled your number all 3 times. So Collector P, send me your info. I think we're friends on Instagram. Just send it via Insta and I'll mail you the book. Yes, of course. All right. So if nobody has any question, let me give away the X-Men book. All right. Between the 4 of you, we'll roll 3 times. Okay, Nathan. And Collector P, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, Collector P, you won both books. So you're just learning this game. You're going to start off with the X-Men expansion and the Spider-Verse game. Let me know if you need a core rulebook too. I can get you that as well. But yeah, message me on Insta and I'll mail you those books. Okay, kids, please. Dear Lord. All right. So if nobody has any questions, then if you do have a question, just post it in the comments on the playback of the video, or you can shoot me a message on Instagram at Headless Hammerhead, altogether, Headless Hammerhead, and I will see you guys on the next one.